Hi guys, welcome back to Model 3 UK. Today you join me back in the Model 3. Thank you once again for tuning into one of my videos. I hope you can see and hear me okay. There's been a few videos I've posted in the past and the audio quality's not been brilliant. A few people said they couldn't hear me if I put music in. I've been using the GoPro. Typically the GoPro microphone's not brilliant, especially if it's in the case. Although I do have one of the cases which is kind of open on the side, so the mic should be able to hear me. And I tried buying a little plug-in mic for it as well, which I clip onto here, but for some reason it only records on the right audio channel. So yeah, it plays a bit of havoc with the editing process as well, and the audio at the end. So today I'm on a DSLR camera with a shotgun mic mounted on the top. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that will work really well, but I can't. The problem is with this, it's got no flippy outy screen, so I don't know if it's in focus or not, so hopefully this won't be a wasted video. Anyway, this is a response video to a post I made a few weeks back asking if anyone had any questions regarding their Model 3, or if they were looking to buy one and they had a question, and I got a few responses, so I'm going to go through some of the questions here now and just basically answer them as best as I can for you guys. So let's have a look then. So the first question was by Declan Rogers. He says, tips on setting up scheduled departure properly and the benefits, basically to get the most of the car range rise. Right, okay. So let's have a quick look here for a moment. Scheduled departure. Right, so hello, let me spin this around hopefully so you can see what's going on here. Okay, so scheduled departure here. This is on the battery management screen, which you can get by pressing this button here, and you'll get this a screen that looks like this. So if you go scheduled departure, you get a screen that looks like this, and then what you can do is you can start charging at. So this one is basically used for if you have a cheap tariff rate. So let's say you've got an EV Go tariff with Octopus and the rate starts at half midnight. You can set this to start charging at half midnight, and it will charge until the percentage that you've set via here. If you go departure, now this is scheduled departure. This was a new feature that was added a little recently-ish. What this allows you to do is I'm going to sneeze, I think, in a minute, sorry. What this allows you to do with scheduled departure is set a time that you're due to leave the house. Now this means that the car will start charging. Let's say you plug it in at night and it goes, oh, you plugged this amount of electricity into me, you've set me to charge to 80%. That'll take 4 hours and 37 minutes to get there. 4 hours and 37 minutes before 8 AM, it will start charging. Typically though, what people have been finding is that it actually finishes charging before that point, but what it means, the advantages of it is that you will get a warm battery when you depart. It also means that you should still be plugged in, and the car will actually get the temperature in the cabin to whatever you set it at. So at the moment it's at 19 degrees because it's only 14 degrees today, but it's bloody hot in here, I have to say. I've just had to turn the aircon off actually because the fans were kicking up so much. But yeah, what it would do is it would say, okay, it's hot in the cabin, and maybe 20 minutes beforehand it would start to cool the cabin down. But it also means you've got a nice warm battery, and using that the power from the wall as opposed to the battery to change the cabin temperature to to warm it up or to cool it down. So that's what departure is. I don't believe these can be used in conjunction with each other, i.e. start charging at and departure at. So it's not going to start charging between your cheap rate, but also have it finish just before you leave at 8 AM. I don't think they can be used in conjunction with each other. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yeah, that's basically what it's used for. So the battery's nice and warm, it's malleable, it's ready to take on. You get the best performance out of it in terms of your performance over here, and obviously regen. Although if you put your regen up too high, so your battery level up too high, you won't regen at all. So yeah, if you put it to 100%, for example, you'll notice that you'll get loads of little dots up here because it can't take on any more charge. And even if you're at sort of 80-90%, you'll still see some dots because again it can't take on too much charge. So I hope that answers your question regarding scheduled departure. If it doesn't, please pop a comment below or contact me via the Model 3 UK Facebook page, and I will try and answer it in more detail for you. Okay, so next question then. Stuart Banks asks, why does YouTube on my Model 3 think I'm in the Netherlands? Okay, so actually, it used to think you were in Spain. I'm guessing it's because Tesla use a mobile network, or LTE network, which is based in Spain or now the Netherlands. They changed it recently, and so yeah, you tend to get adverts when you watch YouTube, like in Spanish, or now should I say in the Norwegian. Is it Norwegian Netherlands? No, that's not right. That's not right at all. Yeah, Dutch. That's what I'm thinking. Dutch. So you tend to get adverts in Dutch sometimes. That's the only reason why. I'm just guessing it's because they use an LTE network that's a foreign country. Nothing really more to it, I'm afraid. By the way, I know I'm looking absolutely disgusting today. It's what this lockdown's really doing to me. I'm just sitting here doing nothing. I think I've got bad skin because I'm just not eating very well. I should be, but I'm just not getting out much. So where my lifestyle is normally fairly active, it's now gone to Netflix couch potato stuff because of this whole lockdown thing. And so my skin's bad, and I haven't had a haircut in bloody ages. I should really be wearing a hat at the moment, but yeah. Anyway, I'll move on to another question. So okay, James Burns has asked, I'd like something around understanding energy consumption better, and Alex also seconds this as well. Okay, cool. So energy consumption then. So let me swing you around. Here we go. Right, so this is not going to show anything. Oh, here's where my last trip was. Right, okay, so here you can see the watts per mile. So yeah, if you're on your driving screen, you can just swipe this across here. This is the tab from the left. Actually, you can see, yeah, it was only a 2-minute drive. So what will happen is when you drive off, you can get your watts per mile show up here. I typically leave this screen on actually while I'm driving. And here, this is your average watts a mile over the course of your trip so far. So when you first start driving, you'll find that this number is actually very high, and in the winter I've seen it as high as 1,400. Don't panic too much. As you drive, you'll see it drop, as obviously as long as you're driving conservatively, and if you're not using the heater or fans, it will be even less. What you're looking for is around about 300 to be eco-efficient, shall we say. That's good economy. If you can get 300, just above it, that's fine. If you're driving a performance, typically I see around about 350. If you can get it below 300, you are doing amazing. So yeah, that's basically what you're looking for consumption wise. I'm just going to interject here, guys. This is post editing, but what I wanted to say is that these stats that I was just mentioning about, that is typical for winter conditions, which I didn't mention in the video. What I'm finding is, yeah, if you can get it around about 300 in the winter, you're doing pretty good. Ideally, though, you want to be less than 300, and this is obviously my car, which is a Model 3 Performance. If you have a Standard Range Plus, or you're working with the aero wheels, you should typically see better than that. If you can get 250 or anything around that sort of region as well, that's fantastic. But yeah, I always try and target 300 or less, but that is very difficult, especially in the winter, and that is what we're coming out of at this moment. So you should see your ranges go up and your watts per mile go down as you use less things like the heating, and the weather is not the weather improves, so it's not as bad. You know, rain causes rolling resistance, for example. You might be on winter tires, all that increases your watts per mile. So yeah, hopefully that helps you. Obviously as well, you can look over here and go energy, and you can see your range here. So at the moment I've got 377 miles, it's saying, in the tank, but with the way I've been driving and obviously what's been going on, my last projected range was 138. So if you are doing a long trip and you're wondering if you are going to make it to your next point, you can leave this page up or check on it periodically, and you'll see there what you're looking at average range wise. You can go instant, but no, that's what I average is a bit better because it gives you more of a planed figure of what you're actually getting. Obviously this is going to depend as well on weather conditions, climate, whether you're using aircon, whether you're gunning it or not. So yeah, try and keep the aircon off, etc., and just drive conservatively to get a good understanding of what your actual range is going to be like compared to this thing up here. So yeah, I mean, the way to think about it, because I know it's confusing, is this could be like how much fuel you've got in the tank. But obviously with like a normal petrol car, you might have a full tank and go, yeah, a full tank, I get 350 miles on a full tank. But if you gun it around the racetrack, you're only going to get maybe 150 because you're flooring it. And that's kind of like what this is. So this is the more accurate, I'd say, up-to-date range of what you're getting when you're driving. I hope that helps answer your question anyway. But yeah, that's the main thing I'd say. Get that down to 300. Oh, and if you are wondering, does chill mode affect range? To a degree. I mean, yes, if you've got it in chill mode, you don't accelerate as hard, which will help with consumption, definitely. Although I keep it in the normal mode, standard, and just in case I need that extra power, because sometimes it can throw me off. And I typically find, as long as I go gently on the throttle, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not having any personal issues with that anyway. So I hope that helps answer some of your questions, guys. If you do have any more questions, pop them in the comments below, or visit the Model 3 UK Facebook page and pop them on there. There's a plethora of people on there that's very knowledgeable, and they'll be happy to help you with any questions that you may have. Because obviously we're in lockdown at the minute, the cars are sitting on stand quite a lot. So just a quick little tip that I've read to put the least strain on your battery if you're not doing much driving and you're just leaving your car on stand. Charge it to about 50-60% and leave it plugged in if you can. That puts the least strain on the battery, because you don't want it too high and you don't want it too low. So 50-60% is a good range to put your keep your battery charged at. Also, if it is sitting on stand for a long period of time, I'd recommend every now and again just rolling it forward slightly or rolling it backwards slightly. This just basically means that the tires are not sitting on the same spot for long periods of time. My parents had this previously with a vehicle, not a Tesla, or nothing to do with electric cars, but they had a car sat on stand for such a long period of time that when they finally moved it, the tires kind of had like a flat spot in them, and so they instantaneously needed to change the tires on it. So that was not very good. So just periodically move it if you are sitting it on stand and not using it at all during this lockdown period. So guys, thanks very much for watching the video. If you have any more questions, please pop them in the comments below, or please visit the Facebook group Model 3 UK. If you're looking at buying a new Tesla, make sure you use a referral code from someone. If you don't have a referral code, you can use mine. I'll pop it in the description below. It gets you 1,000 free supercharger miles. It also gives me 1,000 free supercharger miles, as well as a nicety. But yeah, if I strongly recommend using it. You might as well. It's 3 miles. Guys, you've been awesome. Thanks very much for watching my video. You take care now. I'll see you in the next one, and bless all your faces. Ta-ra for now. Bye bye.